Here we go, page 4, real quick. This is something I would expect you to do just like that from now on. So all of these are quadratics. We recognize that this one and this one were not in general form, so got to watch out. But all the other ones were. So the opening, we're looking at the A value. Okay, A value. A is right there. A is right there. A is equal to 1. What is A equal to in this one? -1, yeah. A is equal to 0.8. Here, A is equal to -1/3. Okay, so every single time you should be able to read A off of it and just figure it out. So opening, this one is positive, so it's going to be opening up. This one is positive, opening up. This one is negative. This would be going down like that. A is positive here, we're going up. A is negative, we're going down. Okay. Next, the width. This one would be what? Wide, narrow, wide. Yes. This one would be, we call this normal. If A is equal to 1, it's normal. Okay. This one is also normal. This one is wide. Ooh, I got A wrong on this one. Did you not catch it? Maybe I did it on purpose. You'll never know. Is this right? A is in front of x squared. So A is 10.5. And that's why they made the erasers, right? 10.5. That's what it is. So this one would be narrow. This one would be wide, because it's 0.33, right? So the sign tells us whether it's going up or down, and the value tells us whether it is narrow, wide, or normal. Okay. A y-intercept here, this is 0, 0, because C is 0 on this one. Can I just go 0, -7 on this one? You cannot. It's not in general form. So let's wait with that one for now. What's C here? It's the constant, right? So this is 0, 5 is the y-intercept. Over here, C is equal to -7. It's the constant. It's a number without a variable. 0, -7, like that. And this one, it's not general, so I can't just figure it out like that. I need to do a little bit of work. So here's the algebra, but soon you won't have to use algebra for that. In this one, you just let x equal to 0, and so y is equal to 0 minus 4 squared minus 7. Watch this. You got to watch, make sure you don't get the signs wrong. What's -4 squared if it's in brackets? It's -4 times -4, that's positive 16 minus 7, right? So this would be 9. So it's 0, 9 is my y-intercept here. Soon I'll show you a quick way to do it with a graphing calculator, so you won't have to do this, but it's still available to you. What about this one over here? Remember, the y-intercept, x is equal to 0. Let's go over here to where it says y-intercept. And we know that x is equal to 0 at that point, because right, x is equal to 0 when it crosses the y-axis. So you just insert zeros in this one. I don't know if you remember this from previous years, but g of x, it's actually a function. So you could actually say g of 0, when we let x equal to 0, you're indicating your audience that x is equal to 0. So it's -1/3, 0 minus 4, 0 plus 5. So you take that equation, you put zeros in for x. Then it's -1/3. That's just -4 times 5. Okay? And normally you would probably do some mental math, but you can just type all of this into your calculator. But negative times negative is positive, right? So these two will actually turn into a positive. So it's just 1/3 times 4 times 5. And that ends up being 6.67. Hey, your favorite number. So 0, 6.67 is your y-intercept for that particular scenario. Right now, if you look at this table, if you were able to do the first two rows, that is primarily what I want. I want you to be able to read the equation and know, hey, this is supposed to be pointing up. I know it. Why is it pointing down on my calculator? What's going on here? Oh, I forgot the sign. I want you to catch it right away. Okay? So let's go. I'm going to recap a little bit. Okay? So make sure you pay attention. I know it's Friday, but I'm going to try my best. This is a very important unit. So for quadratics, on page 3, we had 3 forms of the quadratic equation. A quadratic equation always has a graph that looks like a parabola. It can go up or down. It has a vertex. It's the point where it changes direction. So it could be the lowest point or the highest point. It could have up to 2 x-intercepts, right? 2 points where it crosses the x-intercept, the x-axis, and has 1 y-intercept for sure. General is the most popular. The value of a is always in front of x squared. That tells us the direction it opens. It tells us how wide it's going to be. We did fill in these tables to help us kind of wrap our heads around that. Let's keep going. Page 5. Vertex again. We talked about the vertex. It could be the lowest or the highest point. The vertex, if you look at the coordinate, it can give us 2 additional pieces of information that you may be asked to answer. So if I asked you, if we know the vertex, in this case the vertex is 2, 3, and I asked you what's the equation of the axis of symmetry, you would take the x value, right? You just basically state this. This is very important. This is an equation. Equation of the line, okay? It's a vertical line. This one over here has equation x is equal to negative 2.3. Where did we get the negative 2.3 from? We got that from our vertex right here, okay? The vertex. Keep that in mind. And then the equation of the max, it's a horizontal line. It's right here. It's also important. Or it could be the equation of the min, but it cannot be both, okay? It depends on which way it's opening. Then we talked about the number of possible x-intercept on page 6. You could have none, 1, or 2. And it's dictated by the exponent, by the degree of the function. Now this, page 6, this is what I also asked you to try. Yesterday, we spent some time typing this into our calculator, and we figure out the vertex, the x-intercepts, and the y-intercept. The y-intercept we got right here. So type this in, please, right now. Regardless of whether or not you were successful at it, I didn't post the answer key, did I? Not for 6, on purpose, okay? So I wanted you to try it and see if you ran into issues. So you go y equals, clear whatever is there. 4.75 brackets, x, don't use times, okay? X minus 5. Psst. Put it away now. That is there. So what we're going to go hit graph. Let's see what happens. Which way is this pointing? Up, right? Is it going to be a narrow curve? Yeah, it's going to be if these are the legs, it's going to be narrow. It's going to be close together. So let's try it. Graph. I see it right there. Do you see it? Everybody sees it? If you don't see it, okay, this is your solution right now. For now, you go zoom, and you go zoom standard, because we're gonna mess around with the zoom. We're gonna mess around with the window. We're gonna increase it, decrease it, you name it. But zoom standard resets it to a window that is positive 10 to negative 10 on the x-axis, and it shows you negative 10 to positive 10 on the y-axis. That's what it does. That's what a zoom standard does, okay? So you should all be seeing this right now. Okay, what are we going to find first? Let's find the vertex. We want the coordinates of the vertex. And how do we find that? Second, it's second trace every time, pretty much. You're going to have to press second trace. Min, right? Min, because it's the lowest point. There we go. So let's go ahead and do that. Second trace, minimum. If you press maximum, listen, it's going to try, and it's going to give you something, but it's going to be wrong. Okay? So unfortunately, it won't say, can't do it. You have to decide. So it is a minimum. My cursor, I cannot see right now. But look at this, down here. It's at 0, 118. Let me make this a little darker. Can you see that? Yeah, there. Yeah, see, all the best. 0, 118, so it's way up here somewhere. So I'm going to use the side arrows to see if I can come closer to it. I'm going to go to the right. See, if I go to the right, it's coming down. I'm going to press and hold because I'm getting tired. There you go. I pressed it until I see the cursor. That's perfect. What is it asking me for first? A left boundary. It's like, hey, give me a boundary around the vertex. So left boundary, this is the vertex right there. We're going to go to the left, and I am already to the left of it. So I'm going to hit enter. As soon as you hit enter, see how it draws that line? Right? That's one boundary to the left of it. Now you're going to go to the right. So keep going to the right with the arrows until you get to the right of where the vertex is. You can clearly see where it is. You just don't know exactly. So hit enter. And now you see those two lines. You're telling the calculator it's somewhere between those two lines. When it says guess, you press enter again. There it is. And so it is 5. And what is that other one there? It's 3.21, right? But what is following that? You see? Is that happening to yours as well? The E negative 12? Some of you might not. The calculators are weird that way. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But what does e to the negative 12 mean? It's a really, really small number. It's like 0.000000. It's like there's 10 zeros before you get to see a number. That is 0 for us. So we're just saying 0. Note 3.21 e negative 12, write this down, is really 3.21 times 10 to the negative 12. And some of you are in chemistry, you know that this is right scientific notation, but it's a really small number. For us, we don't care about that. Okay, it would be a significant value for chemistry, but for us, not. We don't. This is equal to 0. Okay, so don't be putting down 3.21 there. That would be wrong. Okay, so when you see that, please don't fall for it. You can tell that it's on the x-axis, right? So we got our vertex figured out. Now let's do the x-intercept. How many x-intercepts do you think this thing will have? Isn't this an x-intercept, guys? 5, 0? 5, 0 is an x-intercept. But let's say you missed it. Okay, how do you find the x-intercept? y2 equals 0. We're going to draw a line at y2 is equal to 0. Second, trace, intersect. So let's go ahead and do that. Y equals, y2 is equal to 0. Hit graph. This may or may not work, I'm not sure. Sometimes it doesn't work. Second trace 5. And I got to see my cursor. So I'm going right arrow. There you go. It shows up. See, so you want it somewhere close to where they meet. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as you're close to where the intersection is. Press enter. It's like, give me a point on the first curve. That's what it's asking. Sure, we're going to give you a point. Hit enter. Give me a point on the second curve. That's good enough. And then press enter one more time. I couldn't do it. So there's a problem with this. You're not going to have to worry about it. But we already figured out that the vertex is 5, 0. Okay, so the x-intercept is 5, 0. Don't worry about what just happened. I'll make sure that doesn't happen in the future. It's so close to the x-axis. It's technically on it, but the calculator thinks it's not quite close enough. So that's why it gave us an error. But it's 5, 0. So it's just one x-intercept. Okay? What about the y-intercept? This is new. Write this down. Can you get the y-intercept just by looking at the equation? Can you? Is this in general form? It's not, because it's got a bracket, right? So you can't just get your y-intercept that way. So to get the y-intercept, we got to go second, trace, value, x is equal to 0. Okay. That's how you do it. So graph this, hit graph again. Then go second. Can we see our y-intercept, guys, on the graph? We cannot. This is where you need to learn another skill. Do you see the window button here? Yeah? Press it, please. We need to increase our top here, the top. We need to see more to the top. Oh, you can't see. Thank you. Did you press the window button? Okay. The only 4 entries you're ever going to change on here is X-min, X-max, as well as Y-min, Y-max. What do you think X-min changes? It changes the left side of your screen. X-max changes the right side of your screen, how much you see to the right. Y-min will do what? How much I see to the bottom of the screen. Y-max will change how much I see to the top of the screen. So we're going to go to Y-max and change that to 50. We're just going to go 50 here. And then hit graph again. Are we seeing it crossing the y-axis? Not yet. Let's increase it even more. Let's go to window. You're going to go to Y-max. And let's go big or go home. So let's go 200. Got it? Press graph again. Y-max, the only thing I'm changing. Do you see it crossing now? Perfect. Now we're going to press these buttons that I just told you to press. We're going to go second, trace, value, and let x equal to 0. So here we go. Second, trace, value. X is equal to 0. So you actually have to type in 0 here. Type in 0 and then hit enter. What do you get? 118.75. So you're saying that when x is equal to 0, y is going to be 118.75. Okay? These 3 are the most important pieces that you need for a graph. Okay? All right. Let's go over to page 7. I'm going to skip domain and range for now. I'm going to do that on a different day or later today. So we're going to skip 7. We're going to skip 8. Before we start graphing today, go to 9, page 9. Make sure you put everything away now. This is very important, okay? I'm going to walk you through how to graph this thing by hand using your calculator, okay? This one right here, what form is this in? It's in general because there are no brackets. So we're going to make a note here. General form. Perfect. Oh, sorry, I inserted this later. You have a box here, general form. Which way is it opening? A is equal to negative 0.5, right? So it's opening down, like this. The width, what do you think? It's wide, yeah. Because A is 0.5. You're just looking at the value, okay? Y-intercept. Can we just get our y-intercept? Can we just go like this? 0, C in this case. Can we just go grab C from up here? Technically, yes. When it's in general form, this last number here gives us the y-intercept. So maybe go up here and go A, B, and C. It's 0, negative 200. However, let's say we couldn't find, you didn't realize this. What buttons do I press to get this? I go second, trace, value, and I let x equal to 0. Okay. So let's go ahead and graph this thing. I need you to enter this into your calculator real quick. Y equals, clear everything that's there, and type in, why does mine look all gritty? Gritty. Is that a bad word? I don't even know. There we go. Okay, negative 0.5 x squared plus 25x minus 200. Type that in, please, exactly like that. And we're going to try to graph it. Unfortunately, this is not a smart calculator. A smart calculator would be able to zoom it in perfect. Every time you type something in, it's just going to show you the entire thing perfectly. It doesn't, okay? Did you type this in already? Okay, let's hit graph. This is what you should have. Let's hit graph. You see anything? You see something, Manu? But are we all seeing something? I don't see anything, okay? So this is where you have to try some features of the calculator. I want you to look at zoom. Zoom is actually very helpful. Can you press zoom? Which one did we already use? We used zoom standard, correct? Let's try zoom fit. Go down the options list. So once you press zoom, you should get to the very bottom here, zoom fit. If you just keep going down, did you find that one? Zoom fit, what do you think it's going to try to do? It's going to fit your graph, but it doesn't always do a very good job. But we're going to try it. Let's press, you can either press 0 on your calculator or just go to zoom fit and hit enter. Hey, we start seeing something, right? But it's not perfect. Is it pointing down? It does, right? It keeps going this way and it just continue to go this in this shape, okay? So what do I need to change in order to see more? What affects this line right here? X max, correct? So go to your window, go to X max and change it to something. It's 10 right now. I'm going to go 200. I'm just going to go for it. It's going to be a bit of a guessing game. That's the frustrating part. Hit graph. Did that do the trick for us? Yes, it was overkill, but now we see the entire thing like this. What else do we need to change now? The Y what? The Y max. So go window, you go to Y max, and I'm going to change that to 200. Did that do the trick for me? Yeah. Okay, make sure you pay attention to this. I don't care how nicely it fits in your window, as long as you're able to see the vertex. Can you see the vertex? Yes, it's right there. Can you see the y-intercept? Can you see the x-intercepts? That's a good graph. So some of you, when you do your test or quizzes, you might have a different look to it. It doesn't matter. It's just you might be further away, and some of you might be closer, some of you might be off to the right. It doesn't matter, as long as you know that all of these points need to show up. Okay? Let's find the vertex. Okay? So I want you to do the keystrokes here. This is a second trace what? Min or max? It's a max, yeah. I'm going to let you do it, okay? So you go ahead and find it before I get to it. Beat me to it. Please just make sure you watch, because I can't always reteach this whole thing every time. But when you type in the equation, I would say oftentimes it's a good habit to say zoom standard. Let's reset whatever I had before. Let's reset that, okay? Then you press zoom fit. You try to fit that into your screen like that. It's going to try its best to fit in that curve. At least you're going to see something. And then you got to chase it, okay? You're like, oh, it keeps going this way. What do I have to adjust to make that happen? You no longer use zoom. You will go to window. And then you do one thing at a time. Don't change too many things at a time. X max, if I change that and I graph again, perfect. I don't need to go further to the right anymore. I have everything I need. Then you go back to your window and you adjust, in this case, the Y max, right? And then, so now everything is good. I see the whole thing. I see where it crosses. Now, to find the max, second trace max, my cursor is at negative 2,300 right now on the Y's. So I'm going to press the arrow. When I go to the left with my arrow, I see it coming back up. So I'm going to press and hold, and there it is. You need a left boundary, guys. So if this is the vertex, you need to go to the left of it. Enter. Go to the right of it. Enter. Enter again, and that's the coordinate of the vertex. So here we go. 25, 112.5. Okay. Axis of symmetry, what is this? What is that? That's the equation that comes from the x value. So that's supposed to be x is equal to 25. Make sure you copy this down. Later on I can help you out. Equation of the minimum or max. We only have a max in this case. It's going to be y is equal to 112.5, okay? These are like the imaginary lines that go across the vertex. X-intercepts, how do you find those? Let's do the keystrokes here. You let y2 equal to 0, then you go second, trace, intersect. And let's do that together, okay? Y equals, you let y2 equal to 0. Hit graph. You see the red line. There are two of them. So I'm going to go second, trace, intersect for the first one. For some reason, it wants to go down to 2,300 every time. So I don't know what's up with this, but just let it come back up. This is the first one you want to find, so you hit enter. Watch this. Once you're close to it, you can hit enter 3 times without looking. 1, 2, 3. And it will give you that intersection. That's 40, 0 is my first x-intercept. And the second one, you repeat this process. Second, trace, intersect again. You go to it. You press enter 3 times. Enter, enter, enter. There it is. 10, 0 is the other one. There you have your x-intercepts. Domain and range, we're going to wait with it for today. Okay? Now, this is your task, okay? I want you to, for every question that I'm going to assign, grab a highlighter maybe if you, well, I will tell you again when I take you there. I need you to find the y-intercept and the vertex every single time. These two will always be present. There's no exception. Then there is your x-intercept. It may be that you don't have an x-intercept. What will you put down if you don't have an x-intercept? Not applicable. Don't put 0. Not applicable. There is none. Okay? If I ask you the number of, then it's 0. But if it's the vertex itself, there is none. Okay? Those are the 3 I always want you to find every single time. So I'm going to send you, I'm going to ask you to do 10 and 11, pages 10 and 11. Fill out that whole table, but specifically the highlighted ones. Okay? So for now, pages 10 to 11. For now. And try it, please. Don't just. On page 9, somewhere there, maybe you have your window like this, and you have to tell yourself that this is x max, this is x min, this is y max, and this is y min. Okay, so that would be an entry that I would have on my study sheet perhaps, so you know to change. What do I need to change? What's going to affect what? Another thing is, I would say zoom, right? Zoom standard, resets. I call that a reset. And then zoom fit will shows graph, right? But you may need to adjust, right? Adjust as needed. Adjust using window, okay? So that's something that I would have on my study sheet, as well as the keystrokes that you're pressing to figure out the vertex, to figure out the y-intercept, to figure out all those things. You need to have those keystrokes on your study sheet as well. Okay. So make sure you follow along. It doesn't matter if you've done this already. I'm going to try to walk you through some issues on purpose. Okay? So I'm going to enter this into my calculator. That's where it all starts. Exactly the way you see it. X minus 4 squared minus 7. Let's hit graph. Is this a wrong graph, guys? It's not a wrong graph, but it's not the greatest. Okay? So I'm going to use my zoom features. Zoom. Let's say you do the zoom and it doesn't work for you guys. Listen to this. Zoom standard is a good reset. Zoom standard is a good reset. And watch this. It's actually a pretty good graph. Zoom standard did the trick for me. If you go zoom fit afterwards, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's still, everything you need is still there. So zoom fit is okay to use. Zoom standard is okay to use. You can pick between them. So that's good. Let's go find the vertex. Do you think I can find the vertex as is? It's kind of cut a little bit. It's kind of cut. So what should I change here, guys? My Y min. I'm going to change that to like -20 or something like that. You got to use negative. You can't use minus on these ones here. And so there it is. My vertex is actually showing up. That's a minimum. I got to use minimum. So for the vertex, I expect you to fill in the rest as well. But I'm going to go second, trace, minimum. Okay? So I would expect you to know how to do this. Have this on your study sheet if you need help. And so for the vertex, I'm going to go second, trace, min. I need, if this is the vertex, I need a left boundary. I need a right boundary. And hit enter, so that's 4, -7. Okay, you round to 2 decimals, so this is what it rounds to. The y-intercept, I'm going to find that as well. What do I press for y-intercept? Second, trace, value. I let x equal to 0. Second trace value. So I went second trace. I select value. Sorry. X is equal to, it's asking me for an entry, right? You go 0. Type in 0. Press enter. And it is 9. 0, 9 is the y-intercept. So you write down the coordinate of it like that. Now let's find the x-intercepts. How many are there? 2, right? There's 2. So you're going to have to do this twice. You let y2 equal to 0. And then you go second, trace, intercept. Okay? So y2 is equal to 0. You go to y equals, let y2 equal to 0, hit graph. Then you go second, trace, intercept. Okay, pay attention to this one. You find your cursor and then go close to the first one. And then press enter 3 times. That's all you need to do. So enter, enter, enter. There it is, 135, 1.350. So 1.350, and I know there's another one. So I got to go second, trace, intersect one more time, move over to that one, get as close as possible, and hit enter 3 times. There it is. 6.650 is that intersection. You can't see that, can you? Sorry about that. There it is. Those are the 2 x-intercepts for this particular form. I want you to fill in the rest, right? Domain and range, leave that for now. But you're supposed to do everything else up until that point. All right. So here's what I want you to keep trying with page 11. It's very important that you know how to do that. You add things to your study sheet as needed. If you're done page 11, there's more. Let me see here. It's a bit hidden. It's a bit, I'm going to show you. Go to page 29. Page 29. I don't need you to sketch yet. Leave that for Monday. But I do want you to fill in vertex and all the intercepts. So x-intercept or intercepts as well as y-intercept. So go to page 29, and this is what I want you to do with every single question that you find in here. Some of them will be a bit tough to find, okay? But make sure you use the zoom functions. Okay, so all the way to page 11 and then page 29 to 30. Guess what that QR code is there for? It's a video that actually goes through the whole thing. However, I graph and do all of that. Don't worry about the graphing part. Just watch me figure out the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, and the vertex if you need help with that, okay?